Welcome back to Minute Micro Macro. Today we're thinking about, is demand proportional? We're going to dive straight into example one. So we're thinking about the demand for brand A of basmati rice. So we're thinking about a good that I can easily substitute for another brand. They're relatively homogeneous goods. So I'm starting at a price of 100 pennies, so that's £1, and I've got a quantity demanded of 500 units. We're going to see an increase in price, which is going to cause a contraction along demand. So we're going to put our price now 120 pence, so £1.20, and we're going to see a new quantity demanded 100 units. So this lesson is all about proportionality. So we're thinking about the percentage change in price. That has been an increase in price of 20%. And thinking about proportionality in terms of quantity, that's been a decrease of 500 down to 100. So that's an 80% decrease in quantity demanded. And so what we can say is the change in quantity is more than proportional than the change in price, which happens to be the definition of elasticity. Make sure you get the definition written down. Another key note to have written down is how you work out whether a good is elastic or inelastic. The calculation is that you take the percentage change in quantity demanded and divide it by the percentage change in price. If you get a PED value greater than 1, it means your good is elastic. You might have noticed the absolute symbols around PED. That means you ignore the symbol in front of the number. So if you get a negative number, which you will with PED, you can discard that. If the absolute value is greater than 1, you have an elastic good, which does make sense. If the quantity demanded was more than proportional than the change in price, the number in the numerator is going to be greater than the number in the denominator, and so you're going to get an answer that is bigger than 1. Another key piece of information that you absolutely have to note down is that when you see an increase in price for a good that is elastic, you are expecting to see a fall in total revenue. You can see here that revenue is calculated by doing price times quantity. And you know that the area of a rectangle is base times height. So the area of those rectangles represents the total revenue. We can see that the first rectangle was much bigger than the second rectangle, and so total revenue has fallen. But we can also see that the area of the loss of total revenue is much larger than the area of the gain. So when price rises for an elastic good, we expect to see a fall in total revenue.